Oh, hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you out there in YouTube land. Are you gonna be able to take me seriously if I wear this for the next, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes? It doesn't have to be that long. We can all just frickin' get along, people. Jeez, I just want to have a good... You know what? Clearly, some of us have to be professional, and I'm going to have to cut. Is this better? Can we be serious now? For real. Thank you. Welcome back to Beyond the Grave Media. This is Josh here, checking in on you. We hit 1,000 subscribers. We are over 1,000. I think we're like 1,017, 1,018, something like that. So hats off to you. Max off to you. You guys out there are the real reason that this thing works. You know, I just had a birthday. My wife... God bless her. I'm sleeping right. I'm just doing my thing. Boo doo 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 doo. I wake up in the morning. I roll over. And on my cup, there's this thing just like cocked and kind of sitting there looking at me. And in the morning, you're not always like all the way with it. Like I kind of rolled over, I kind of like scratched my eyes, just like, oh my God. I need some strong coffee. It's my birthday. And I look, and this thing's just sitting there. And I just went, babe, what the fuck? And that's why I love her. People, you gotta have fun. You gotta enjoy your life, right? My wife bought me this mask. It next to my shit. Had some other movies and stuff set up, so I kind of wanted to have some fun tonight. We are talking about a pretty intense film, one of my favorite movies of all time, which is 2000's Requiem for a Dream, an absolute 10 out of 10 experience out of a 0 out of 10 out of 10 film with a 0 out of 10 experience. One of the worst experiences you can go through. I'm going to recollect my foggy memories with this film. And as usual, wherever you are, wherever you may be, and however you may have found me, thanks for being here. Take a seat right back there. We got Punch and Pie in the back. Sometimes life hits you with something so hard and so fast, you can't even grab the e-brake, the oh shit handle, and in the blink of an eye, you're forever a moment frozen in time. When I was 20, I went to a party, an all-night kegger celebrating someone or something. Things got weird. I don't necessarily remember the details of the night before, as I do the morning after and the film I watched when I got home. The next day, bleary-eyed and hungover, I decided to hitch a ride and make the long journey into town for something, anything greasy. I noticed the car I was riding in, they were playing the Nine Inch Nails, the Broken EP. I barely even started my morning. I was still picking pine needles out of my hair, trying to crack my back after sleeping on the hard-ass ground, and then I looked down at my shirt. Jesus, I thought. It's full of shotgun shot projectiles. Fuck, did I shoot my own shirt? I need some hash browns, something to get this body back to neutral. My memory of this day is choppy. It doesn't quite line up, but the song Wish did start on the radio. The group all kind of does that soft headbanging, you know, where your neck is too sore at a concert the day after, so you just kind of shake your hair from side to side. You still want to commit something. Stop sign. The car is stopped. The song Wish continues to wish I was something real in my head. It gets louder and louder. I look right and smash. T-boned. Felt like a Mack truck. Something didn't add up. In the time it took for me to holler, you didn't look left. The remains of the car and the 4 passengers was mangled. What day is it? I was tapping my head. Where am I? What the fuck just happened? Jesus, that kid's neck is bleeding. I still remember shaking the glass out of my hair from that semi-collision point blank. The rest of the afternoon is pretty foggy. Maybe a concussion is to blame, or just the feeling that I dodged something major. A crossroads, a cheat code. Something happened right there. That night I went home and I watched Requiem for a Dream. It was not the movie that I cared to remember all that often. To this day, I don't know if I drove home, I made it to a friend's house, someone dropped me off, I soaked my head, said my prayers. I don't actually remember, but I do remember someone telling me to watch Requiem for a Dream. It'll change your life. Yeah. I remember saying to my friend who brought it back from a Hollywood video. For the record, they also thought Prancer should have won an Academy Award, so I didn't remember thinking much of just the cover. Still, something remained with me. It'll It'll change your life. It's the best movie I've ever seen. I think I was just licking my wounds that night after the near-death experience. I remember the basement, the Sony Trinitron, the music of Requiem as much as I do the 32-ounce Ice House beer. In my early 20s, it was pretty rare for me to be alone on a Saturday night. I always had some dickhead, roommate or band practice, or you forgot to pick up beer, you didn't get the pizza, you didn't print the flyers for the next. There's always something going on. So to have the house to yourself when I had 6 or 7 roommates was pretty rare. Somebody brought this thing home and said, hey man, it's going to change your life. This is the best movie I've ever seen. And I just remember being a little concussed, a little out of it, getting home, going down to the basement where we would practice, putting on the DVD, putting my feet up, turning the fan on one, where you're just like, you want a little bit of chill air, but you don't want to be cold, but you don't totally need a blanket. Always put the box fan on one just to set the mood. Put your arms back and just take a ride. That's what's so awesome about movies, man, is they can transport you somewhere else. But that's not the case. That's not where you want to go with Requiem for a Dream, because it ratchets down, dude. I remember thinking, son of a bitch, he was right. This is the best movie I've ever seen. The "it'll change your life" quote, it kind of messed with me. I was like, is this judgment, or is this like, I don't know, is he like kind of trying to convict my own behavior here? I didn't totally get it, because my problems were not like this. This was hellish torment. But Requiem for a Dream, it's nasty. It's a cautionary tale. If you have not seen it, it is a real horror movie in the throes of addiction in every sense of the word. I can't even believe how much pain and suffering I was witnessing when I was watching this. Now, that semi-truck accident that didn't kill me could have had something to do with it, sure. But this movie just completely and utterly overwhelmed me. Say what you will about the effects and the style and the tone, Requiem, it just has this bleak and dreadful despair. All I remember feeling was I was trying to squirm away from it, frame by frame, just like, oh my God, I can't handle this shit right now, right? What the hell is the point of this? I remember thinking, like, are we just supposed to be afraid of substances? Like, it's easy to trade one addiction for the other, that the devil takes many forms. It freaked me out. It got inside my head and it just burrowed down in there, laid eggs, harvested, and my brain's never been the same since I watched this movie, dude. It totally freaked me out. Requiem for a Dream, like I said, is a 10 out of 10 movie with a 0 out of 10 user experience. This is a 1-star Yelp review. This is not a Google recommendation. This is 2 thumbs down. What was once, a dream can easily become a nightmare when that obsession spirals out of your control. Requiem goes so far past traditional horror. It covers themes: fear, loss, rejection, shattered hopes, the illusion of the American dream, which is just represented through a television set. This movie fucking hurts. It blisters, it peels, it's painful to look at, and I freaking love it, man. Everything about Requiem for a Dream from 2000 it's a masterpiece. Darren Aronofsky, like, I love horror movies in general, right? That's kind of why, that's what we talk about. That's what we do. But he's my favorite director to watch, next to Scorsese and a couple of others. I mean, he gets me. I just, since this, I love everything he's done. Except for Noah. Noah's kind of shit. But I love it. Requiem, it blew me away. How it's shot, how simple it is, like just following a recipe. I'm going to shed a few pounds. I'm going to totally regain control of my life. Well, it just left me weak. It just, all of a sudden, you're just spun out on the floor. There's this drug element, this obviously allegorical, like, subtext and warnings from the first frame. We go through the changing of the seasons, and it's like from spring and summer and fall to winter, everything. It's like there's this hope, and the hope is ending, and it gets worse, and it's just the most brutal film ever, man. Requiem for a Dream, 10 out of 10. There's not enough time in the world to talk about how much I love this movie, dude. Requiem for a Dream, 10 out of 10, absolute banger. My favorite Darren Aronofsky flick. I also love, like, The Wrestler and Mother. Black Swan's really good. The Fountain Pie? Everything he does, dude. So incredible. The Whale was pretty damn good, too. Different, but good. This movie's kind of hard to talk about because it's got so much, like, paraphernalia, sorrow, just dread. The ending of this film, it just rips your heart out of your chest, especially for 80s kids. If you grew up watching, like, Labyrinth or, like, Jennifer Connelly, like America's Sweetheart, you're like, she's gonna be fine, everything's gonna be okay. Not with Keith David in the mix, not with old Day Live and The Thing, homeboy from Platoon. His turn as Little John, just, I fucking hated him so much in this movie. This movie's a 10 out of 10. It's got Dolby Atmos. We can't even get out of here without talking about the soundtrack. One of the best soundtracks of all time. Do I love this film because I got into a major car wreck the same day? Probably has something to do with it. But right place, right time. That's what movies do, man. And just to be real, just to sit down and kind of look into the camera for a second and talk to you out there, it totally means a lot to me, everyone that's been on this journey for the last, I think it's almost been 6 months. I'll just to be honest with you, I have no clue what I'm doing. I still don't. I have no artistic integrity. I have no jobs, no prospects, right? Like, I have nothing going for me as far as like video editing or equipment. I don't know. I mean, I just have a house full of horror stuff. I kind of always have. I have a huge horror collection, and I love to talk about movies. So if you would have said, yeah, man, you're going to have 1,000 subscribers, I probably would not have believed you. So if you've taken this ride with me, if I've come off a little stupid, a little immature, you've been here for all my dick and fart jokes, it means a lot. I'm making this up, like I said, as I go. I have no artistic talent, right? I'm actually just a musician by trade. Cut my teeth playing music, taught music. That's kind of all I really wanted to do when I started with this YouTube, was like, maybe I'll just like record some solos, and then I'll be able to like add backing tracks to music that I'm working on, and then I can get stuff out of there that's not just death metal. Right? That was kind of the idea, get a decent mic and start to kind of like record and, you know, get some different interfaces. And then I was like, I should talk about horror movies. That's all I'm doing right now. So that's kind of how this started. And yeah, I can't sing, I can't act, I can't draw, I can't edit, I can't do nothing, but I'm happy to be here doing it for you. Thanks for the 1,000 subs. If you want to see more from me, you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, send this to someone, continue to watch your favorite horror movies. Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything, because they're fucking wrong. I don't know what I'm doing, dude. I'm just a punk. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.